Dear students, you are warmly welcome to another interactive session. And our topic for today is patterns of settlements. So at the end of this topic, it is expected that students are able to mention the three patterns of settlements. Students should as well be able to outline or highlight some of the characteristics of nucleated settlements, characteristics of linear settlements, and also characteristics of dispersed settlements. So very quickly, we want to begin highlighting some of the characteristics of nucleated settlements. Another name for nucleated settlement is compact settlements. So one of the characteristics of a nucleated settlement or compact settlement is that the buildings therein are closely packed together. The buildings are not far from one another. And that is typical of any urban area in Nigeria. The second characteristics of nucleated settlement is that in terms of level of interaction of the inhabitants, of the people living in these settlements, they interact very, very well. Maybe perhaps because they are elites, they quite understand one another. Then the third characteristics of nucleated settlements is that the inhabitants therein, they are mainly involved in secondary and tertiary activities, meaning that quite a number of them, they don't engage in primary activities like farming. They don't engage in primary activities. Rather, they engage in secondary and tertiary activities like manufacturing, like construction, like information technology. The IT experts, you find a good number of them in a nucleated settlement like the city all over the world. Then also, people that work in the factories, in the manufacturing industry, in the construction industries, a good number of them are found living in a nucleated settlement. And that is what they do as their means of livelihood. The other characteristic of nucleated settlement is that in a nucleated settlement, there is a center called nucleus. And this nucleus has so many attractions. So the inhabitants, most inhabitants of nucleated settlements, they will have one or two things to do with the nucleus. So that means a nucleated settlement is always cosmopolitan in nature. Is cosmopolitan in nature. Meaning that it draws people from different walks of life, and all of them are attracted to a center that is called nucleus. Then the fifth characteristics of nucleated settlements is that they are well connected with good roads, with good network of roads. They have very good rail system. The water transport is okay, both the ocean transport and inland waterways. And of course, the air transport is superb. So all of these facilities, they are in abundance in a nucleated settlement. How about linear settlements? What are the characteristics of linear settlement? In terms of buildings, in a linear settlement, the buildings are actually located along the routes. The route may be in form of roads, they may be in form of railway, or they may be in form of rivers. So when you see buildings lined up along the roads, along the rail track, or along the rivers, such settlements are called linear settlements. And you have them all over the world. Then the second characteristics of linear settlement is that in terms of coverage, linear settlement could be several kilometers long. As long as the railway line is, as long as the river is, as long as the road is going to determine the length of a linear settlement. Imagine the longest river in the world, River Nile, has this linear settlement. So you have buildings lined up along River Nile. How about River Mississippi in USA? It's quite a long river too. So you have several kilometers of buildings covering the length of this river. The third characteristic of linear settlement is that a settlement may be formed at the meeting of two rivers. What is that settlement called? That settlement is known as a confluence settlement. And we have quite a number of examples of settlement developing around the point at which two rivers meet. And one of these settlements, we also have it in Nigeria, Lokoja, developed around the meeting point of rivers Niger and Benue. How about in USA? We have St. Louis. It's a settlement. It's a city in USA, and it is developed around the point where two rivers meet. The capital of Sudan, Khartoum, develops at the meeting point of the White Nile and the Blue Nile. Then the fourth characteristic of linear settlement is that at times settlement may develop where two or more routes meet. It could be road and railway where they meet. We have our own Lafenwa in Abeokuta here, develop at a point where road and railway meet. So what is that settlement called? That settlement is called a nodal settlement. We have examples like Chicago in USA and Singapore in Asia. And finally, for linear settlement, you may have farmlands and gardens. They may be located behind these buildings. And finally, characteristics of dispersed settlements. The following are the characteristics of dispersed settlements. Another name for dispersed settlement is scattered settlement. So scattered settlement is another name for dispersed settlement. So dispersed settlement or scattered settlement. Characteristics. Number one, the buildings are far apart and they are far from each other. The second characteristics, the inhabitants therein, they mainly involved or they engage in primary activities like farming, like fishing, like hunting, like lumbering and mining. Then the third characteristics of dispersed settlement is that a dispersed settlement has very few social amenities. The schools are not so many, hospitals are very few, banks are just very few. The fourth characteristics of dispersed settlement is that they are characterized by people with quiet lifestyle. people don't, the inhabitants therein, they have very low interaction. And the fifth, the last but not the least characteristic of dispersed settlements is that behind their buildings, they are blessed with large parcels of land which are intensively cultivated with both cash crops and food crops.